Engineer Dr. Isaiah Ogho. He's going to be talking about navigating regulatory compliance for vertical transportation. And I'm going to give you a brief profile of Engineer Dr. Isaiah Ogho. Engineer Dr. Isaiah Ogho is a current certified civil engineer with over 24 years of post-NYC professional experience, spanning the full project life cycle from conceptual to execution and completion of multi-billion naira infrastructure projects. His expertise covers major civil engineering works, including bridges, highways, drainage systems, culverts, road construction, involving both flexible and rigid pavements. He possesses extensive experience in structural works across diverse soil conditions, including swampy, muddy, and fine soil terrains. He earned his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Ambrose Ali University in 2001 and later obtained a Doctor of Philosophy as a PhD in Leadership and Organizational Management from the Institute of Leadership, Manpower Management Development, Leighton, London. Engineer Dr. Ogho began his professional career with Setraco Nigeria Limited in 2006, a leading construction firm responsible for the East-West Road project spanning Warri to Eleme in Rivers State. In 2009, he was deployed to the Ode Sekiri 23 Bridges, Roads and Spurs project, where he successfully supervised and completed 7 bridges and the associated link road to the Warri River. In 2001, he was appointed the CEO and Managing Director of Commerce Engineering Company Limited, an indigenous construction firm where he has continued to provide strategic leadership and technical oversight. Professionally, Engineer Dr. Isaiah has rendered distinguished service to both the Nigerian Society of Engineers and the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers in various leadership capacities. He served as Secretary of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Warri Chapter, from 2012 to 2016, and later as Chairman from 2016 to 2018. Within the NSE, he served as Treasurer of the Ughelli branch, Vice Chairman from 2009 to 2021, and Chairman from 2021 to 2023. He also chaired the Prevention, Investigation and Failure Analysis Committee of the NSCE Warri branch between 2016 and 2018. Additionally, he was a member of the 2025 NSE Bylaw Review Committee, and he currently serves on the Debt Recovery Committee of the Federal Ministry of Works. Engineer Dr. Ogho is a recipient of numerous distinguished and meritorious service awards, including Meritorious Service Award, College of Education, Osiele Abeokuta, Distinguished Service Award, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Warri Chapter, Award of Excellence, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Meritorious Service Award, NSC Student Fulpray Chapter, Award of Excellence, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Sapele Branch, Award of Excellence, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ughelli Branch. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, and a fellow of the Institute of Leadership, Manpower Management Development. Dr. Isaiah is also a certified management consultant. Please join me in welcoming Engineer Dr. Isaiah Ogho. Hello, Doctor. You're welcome, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much. I want to share my slides. It's my pleasure to be here as I want to contribute from my words of experience on this webinar. Okay, permit me a brief moment to share my slides.
Please go ahead.
It's about the highlights, which is a summary of this topic that has to do with the mode of transportation, the importance of regulations on escalators and elevators. Now, in Nigeria, today we talk about vertical transportations. Usually, it's movement, mobility between superstructures. But now we'll talk about failures in compliance that can result in injury, litigations. If there's no compliance, we'll now find reputation damage and also regulatory sanctions. Now the objectives of these. Please, can you maintain that slide, please? Okay. Please, can you just follow my lead in sharing the slide, please? When I tell you to move, that's when you move, please. So at this point, you can take it to the summary page, please. Okay. So you leave it here until I ask you to go to the next slide. Then you go to the next slide. Thank you very much. So this paper we discuss the importance of regulatory landscape governing vertical transportation, vehicle compliance requirements across the asset life cycles and presents best practical strategies for achieving continuous compliance while reducing operational risk. So what this summary is telling us is just that compliance will help us to avoid other issues like litigations, help us to avoid risk to human lives, and also ensure that there's safe operations when we comply with regulations. Please, can I get the next slide, please? The next slide. Introduction slide, please. Can I get the next slide? Introduction slide. Okay.
Sorry to all us.
Okay. Today, as development increases, especially in big cities like Lagos and other urban areas, we find out that there's need for superstructures and high-rise structures. And you agree with me that without such the vertical transportation, the ease of movement wouldn't be there. You can imagine somebody building a high-rise structure of 4 or 5 floor and not having vertical transportation. So, and in the course of doing that, this need for safety compliance is very, very important. So that's why regulatory compliance are keys. So these are introduced. So in the course of this paper, we are going to see how decision makers we be able to provide structural approach to navigating regulatory compliance and embedded safety governance into vertical transportation system. Let's look at the various regulatory landscape. We are going to look at the international standards, then eventually we'll come to local standard. We also have regulators that within the local environment. Now, please, the next slide. For the international standard, we have the ISO 8100. The ISO 8100 is a global elevator and escalators safety framework. This is generally acceptable standards universally. Every country in the world adopt this standard. But for the European nation, they have their own standard in 81 series. This standard is for this, it helps to guide their designs, installations, and also testing. Then for North Americans, they also have their standards. ASME A17.1 stroke CS C5A B44. This is the North American safety code for elevators and escalators. Please, can you go forward with your slides? I've moved now to regulatory landscape. So in the general perspective, we have the standards for electrical installations and safety requirements, like the IEC 60364. This one is to ensure that in the aspect of the electrical and also the safety aspects of structures, that these the ones in the course of design and also installations. These are also standards that must be adhered to. So these standards define minimum safety thresholds for design, construction, installations, testing, and maintenance. So can you move your slides? We are on national and local authorities. So not like we have these international standards as guides to vertical transportation in the course of design, in the course of installations, and the course of the life cycle of the escalators or elevators. Then we also have those that ensure compliance within the local landscape. Now we have the building control agencies. For example, in Lagos, we have the Lagos State Safety Commissions. They help to ensure that. Then we also have the fire integration and evacuation. We also have building occupation health and safety regulators. Now, on this, we have the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, ISPON, and other industrial associations like the Lifting Equipment Inspection of Nigerians. They all play roles in these to ensure regulations of vertical transportation in Nigeria. So we also have the national standard organization like the SON. The SON is the father of all. In Nigeria, sorry to say that at this point in time, we have not really have our own standard, our own building code, the design codes for vertical transportation. But we hope that with time, that we'll be able to get that in place. Just like we have in Europe, North America, and every other countries, we'll be able to see that we have our own design code. Most probably, we could be able to, we should be able to build those in this built environment, be able to come together and ensure we have a design for a code for vertical transportation in Nigeria. Now we want to look at the compliance along the asset life cycles. Now I want to talk about the first stage, which is the design and planning phase. What do we need to do when it comes to the design and planning phase? Now we'll talk about the design and planning phase. We need to look at the loads. Today you'll find out that we have, let's talk about elevators, for example. When we come to building, we see that maximum of 4, the maximum of 8 persons. So these are at the conception time before design. These are considered. So you look at the loading calculations, and also you do your traffic analysis Oh, okay. What am I designing for? I'm designing for 4, not designing for 5, or designing for 10. So the maximum load. So this is considered at the phase of design. The fire safety integrations and evacuation strategies also consider. You also ensure that the compartment is fire resistant and also flame proof, at least within the shorter duration of 60 to 21 minutes, as is enshrined in the code in 81 to 58 in case of fire outbreak, so that the compartments will be able to resist, not to resist fire within that time, within 60 to 120 minutes, while you are in the lift and there's fire outbreak in the building. So you'll be safe within that time, and it's expected that within that 120 minutes, there should be an effort to get you out of it. There's accessibility provisions for persons with
Engineer,
disability. Yes, can you hear
sorry
me?
to interrupt you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay,
Am I
good.
on the right slide?
Yes, this design and planning. This is fine for me. This is fine.
All right, sir.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
So no, thank you very much. So the accessibility provisions for persons with disability. Well, in the course of design, this is considered to see that it is cited where it is easily accessed by a person with disability. Structural shaft design, pit depth is considered, the edge room, all of that is considered, an overhead clearance, so that everybody that is inside the lift, the elevator will be comfortable. The machine room ventilation and equipment layout, all these are considered, and most importantly, regulatory approval for technical drawings and specifications is very important. Before installations, you want to ensure that after the designs, then the drawings and everything, you place it before the authorities for approval. Please, can I get the next slide? Now we'll come to the installation phase. After the design phase, conception phase, and design phase, you come to the installation phase. So at this installation phase, you considered one, licensed and certified contractors that must be considered for engagement. Then two, you must ensure that the materials and the components that will be utilized are the approved type. Must be ensured of that. Then two, electrical grounding, emergency power supply must be installed. Now, what do we talk about emergency power supply? Now, for example, when the power outage, you want to ensure that the user of the elevators is safe. So, and there is a backup battery that must be installed to sustain that lead. So sometimes some of the design is done in such a way that when there's power outage, the emergency power is in place within a short range and brings the person down, and the door is open and the person can evacuate. So all these must be put together, to be ensured in the course of design. Then fire rated shaft enclosure must be constructed. Like I've said before, it must be fireproof within a short time, as is specified in the regulatory framework, like EN 81/258. The progressive inspections must be documented. Now, what are we talking about here is that it is expected that our escalators and elevators is inspected once in a year. And while that inspection takes place, it is expected that it must be documented. Whatever the observations must be documented. The essence of it is to ensure that the elevators and the escalators is still in good order, working order, and is in a safe order for its users. Please, the next slide. Now we'll come to the aspect of testing and commissioning. So after the phase of design and the installations, before the utilization, you must come to the aspect, you must carry out some tests. Also, it must be commissioned before use. And what are the things, factors that you put in place when you final this said the load and performance testing? For example, if it is designed for 4, it should be tested. It is tested to find out that if it can actually carry 4 conveniently, then ensure that the performance the performance is at optimum. The speed and braking verifications is considered. The emergency stop and door safety test is also carried out. Alarm and communication system validations, fire recall and emergency operations simulations are all considered. Then most importantly is that commissioning certificates issued by authorized inspectors must be obtained. So please, next slide. So now we come to this very important aspect that sometimes is easily neglected, which is the aspect of operational maintenance. Or at the cost of operations, there should be maintenance. It goes together. But most time, this aspect is violated. Post-handover compliance include 1, preventive maintenance programs must be put in place to see that, like I've said, that there have to be 1-year routine maintenance on the equipment. The statutory periodic inspections, maintenance log documentations, whatever maintenance that is carried out must be documented so that the subsisting maintenance, these documents have to be reviewed. Then incident reporting and corrective actions tracking. Well, in the course of use for the past 1 year before the routine maintenance, whatever incidents that occurred in the course of its usage, it has to be carried out in the course of operation by the operators. So it ought to be documented for review. So it helps to be able to ensure the safety use of the equipment. And continuous safety audits is very important. And these continuous safety audits has to do with safety compliance, its usage. They expected that in some of these elevators, even the escalators, while using them, they expected that you guide yourself by the raise and all that. So all these are safety measures that must be ensured. So please, next slide. Documentations and governance. It is essential that regulatory approvals and permits are obtained. Installation certificates are also obtained. Test and commissioning reports are obtained. Maintenance contracts and service log. Let me emphasize on this. Maintenance contracts, we have industries that are responsible, certified industry that are very reliable, that should be engaged for maintenance. Even while you use it for 1 year and there's no incident, there is need for routine maintenance for 1 year, and that will ensure that the equipment live its lifespan. Incidents and repair records, like we have said before, whatever incidents that occurred, all have to be documented. Whatever maintenance that took place have to be documented. These documents form the core of legal compliance and risk. What do we mean by that is, when there are legal issues, these are documents you fall back on for defense. So it helps to contain litigations, so avert risk. So we'll go to the next slide, please. Risk management and liability control. Organizations should implement management system, like we have said. 1, compliance to regulatory framework, like we have said, that the regulators, we want to ensure that we comply to the rules of engagement, and also periodic internal audits by routine check, routine overall assessment of the equipment, regulatory update monitoring, equipment modernization planning. For example, you've been using an elevator or escalator for some years now, and we have modern ones, and there's need when it has outlived his life cycles, there's need for a modern one to be obtained and put and installed for the safety use of every of its users. And also operators and facility staff training programs, very key. So those that are in charge of the management, these ones need to be trained, one on safety aspect, two on operations. So proactive governance dramatically reduces operational risk. So when we do all this, then we'll be able to avert operational risk. Please, the next slide. Now, what are the benefits of compliance? One, it improves occupant safety. That's key. Increase asset value. Now, if we do not have incidents in the infrastructure, we'll find out that people will have confidence. For example, an hotel. Now you don't have incidents. People have confidence in coming. And also when there's an optimal operations of the elevator or the escalators, clients will have confidence in such properties, and what will happen, the value of the properties will increase and investment will have much confidence, like we have said. It will lower insurance premium. You don't need to spend so much on insurance. And also it will reduce litigation exposures. You don't have cases in the courts. Nobody will take you to the courts there because everything is going very smooth. And also stronger corporate reputations. Your image in the corporate environment will be on top. Yeah, the next slide, please. Yes, so at this point, I want to conclude by saying that regulatory compliance is key in vertical transportations. These ones can never be overemphasized. It's not a one-time technical task. What does it mean? Is that most time people ensure compliance at the point of installations. After the equipment, the facility is installed and is being used, nobody cares again. No. But an ongoing strategic discipline. So this is more than just using them. So we want to ensure regulatory compliance is and the life cycles of the facilities. Now, organizations that adopt structured compliance framework achieve superior safety outcomes. They don't have incidences of they don't have negative incidences, operational reliability, and long-term asset protections. So when we look at that last part of it, now you will find out that property, that the elevator, the escalators, will find out that they'll be able to outlive their life cycles. One, because of regulatory compliance. So what we are always saying that regulatory compliance is key if we must have optimal use of our elevator and escalators. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer. Tim, please appreciate him. That was very insightful as well.